From the John C. Hinch Production Art Studios, it's Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Ricky Hendon and Melody Mercado. The latest news with Danielle Hemsky and Aaron Morden. Sports with Katrina Baumgartner and reporter Katie Crowley. Jalen Cook brings us State of the Arts. Kyle Peck reviews the movies in Get Real. Taylor Hurnett takes us about town. Chardonnay Mason reviews what's good in Let's Eat. Anna Tassi reviews the music scene in On the Beat. Jackie Myers is in the spotlight with current celebs. Emma Heth goes out with the street team. And Jenna Amico takes us backstage with About Crew. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine, with your hosts Ricky Hendon and Melody Mercado. Take it away, kids.
Good evening and welcome to Midstate Magazine. Once again, I'm your host, Ricky Hendon.
And I'm Melody Mercado.
So, Melody, it is about that time. Spring break is quickly approaching, and I, for one, am very excited.
I am too. You know, the month of March is really dedicated to spring breaks across the United States.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I hear that you have the two most visited destinations for spring break, both internationally and here in America.
Yes, internationally, the most #1 destination for spring breakers is Cancun, Mexico.
Ooh, I would love to go to Cancun.
And the #1 destination for students in the United States is obviously PCB.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful because I will be heading to PCB for this spring break for the first time, and I am really excited. It should be a fun one.
That's exciting. Well, now it's time to check in with the news team.
Good evening. Welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Bob Jacobs. Let's take a look at the news.
The U.S. Air Force is sending 12 A-10 Thunderbolts to an air base in Germany as part of an operation formed after Russia's intervention in Ukraine over the past year. The so-called tank busters will be forward deployed to other nations in Eastern Europe. Though they are currently one of the highest ranked in terms of usefulness, the U.S. Air Force is considering stopping their deployment since they simply do not have the money to keep up with the current expenses.
The popular late-night comedy show Saturday Night Live had its 40th anniversary on Sunday. It was hosted by several notable celebrities, including Paul McCartney, Miley Cyrus, Betty White, and many old cast members who returned for Saturday's episode. The show was accompanied by montages from some of the show's most memorable sketches. It included unvarnished tapes of famous actors such as Amy Poehler and Jim Carrey. Some criticized the performance for being drawn out and too long, but it drew NBC's best ratings since 2006.
Researchers at Columbia University recently did a study that found the amount of sleep teenagers in the U.S. are getting has decreased over the past 20 years. Female students, racial minorities, and students of lower socioeconomic classes were the least likely to report getting at least 7 hours of sleep each night. The National Sleep Foundation voiced their concerns after claiming that teenagers function best after obtaining 8 to 10 hours of sleep at night, saying that the lack of sleep is associated with mental health issues, weight gain, and substance abuse.
The Federal Aviation Administration proposed new rules Sunday governing how unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, will be allowed to fly in the U.S. But the FAA proposed the idea of safely integrating drones used for business purposes while ensuring that America remains the leader in this realm of technology. The rules have not been put into effect yet. The energy, agriculture, and entertainment industries eagerly await the revision of the new proposal.
Peoria County Courthouse flooded on Saturday after a pipe burst in a part of the heating system. The damages are expected to reach well into the six figures. The county board chairman declared a limited state of emergency on Saturday night to speed the cleanup process, allowing the cleanup crew to exceed the 20,000 cap beyond which board authorization is needed. No court hearings will be canceled, but they will be moved to City Hall as well as the U.S. District Court.
Unfortunately, there's been a lot of gang-related violence in Peoria recently. Barrett Nickel has the story.
Recent acts of gang-related violence in Peoria have led me to investigate the issue. I started by speaking to crime reporter Matt Budell of the Peoria Journal-Star for more insight.
You know, what you're seeing now is these smaller cliques, right? So it's guys who grew up in the same neighborhood, grew up on the same block or street, and they have an affiliation with each other that then somehow gets connected to a larger gang. There's a mentality in Peoria in the United States that it's okay to pick up a gun and settle a petty score with a bullet.
In order to get a different perspective on the issue, I spoke with last year's Peoria Police Officer of the Year, Dave Buchanan, about how gang violence in Peoria has changed over the years.
Now the gangs that's causing most trouble, most of them are just home-brewed groups of hooligans, for lack of a better term. And they seem to be younger also. We have a 12-year-old that's a homicide victim. The gang that we're looking at, the average age is 15 or 16 years old, and it used to be definitely an older crowd.
While recent high-profile cases might lead you to believe that gang violence is on the rise in Peoria, this is not necessarily true. In general, violence tends to fluctuate over the years. There is also a new technology that is being implemented to keep our streets safe.
It's called ShotSpotter, and we have it active in the south end. In layman's terms, it basically senses gunshots. If you were to shoot a gun, let's say in the south side of Peoria right now, within about 10 seconds we'd know about it.
Matt and Dave both agreed that there are no easy explanations as to why violence occurs.
I think if anyone knew the answer to that question, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this.
But the bigger picture is more of a societal problem. You have lifestyles and subcultures that's been created in the last few decades in this country which are prone to violence. It's going to take our entire society in a different way of handling and doing things that really change the problem permanently.
For Midstate Magazine, I'm Barrett Nickel.
Thanks, Barrett. Barrett will have more on this story in about 2 weeks. Now let's go to Katrina for sports.
Thanks, Bob. An arbitration panel has ordered Lance Armstrong and former team owner, Talon Sports Company, to pay $10 million in fraud with a dispute promotions company. Dallas-based SCA Promotions announced the 2-1 ruling against the former cyclist on Monday when it asked a Texas state court to confirm the arbitration decision. The two arbitrators who decided on the award cited an unparalleled pageant of international perjury, fraud, and conspiracy in determining the amount. The $10 million sanction does not cover the full amount SCA has paid out of pocket in bonuses and legal fees since the company became enmeshed with Armstrong. Tillotson told ESPN.com that figure was closer to $15 million. Jason Giambi told the New York Daily News that he is retiring from Major League Baseball, ending a 20-year career that he called an incredible journey. Giambi, in a statement published Monday by the Daily News, announced his retirement before thanking his family, agents, coaches, managers, and teammates. He belted 440 homers during a career highlighted by his 2000 MVP season in Oakland, but marred by his involvement in baseball's performance-enhancing drug scandal. The slugger was linked to the FBI's investigation of the Bay Area Laboratory Cooperative in 2003, when he reportedly testified before a grand jury that he used steroids from 2001 to 2003. Dr. Michael Cross is resigning as the Director of Athletics at Bradley University, effective at the conclusion of the Women's Missouri Valley Conference basketball tournament. Cross became the Director of Athletics at Bradley University in January 2010. Dr. Cross's tenure emphasized core values of accountability, courage, diligence, integrity, and respect, and included numerous accomplishments across all sports, as well as the academic branding and licensing areas of Bradley Athletics. That's all for sports. Back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Katrina. The Bradley Theater Department is gearing up for its first production of the spring semester. It's titled The Mountaintop. The play is about Dr. Martin Luther King on the night before his assassination. Joel Strubar has the story.
First Dexter. That's why. I haven't seen you before. Say that pleading night's never seen your face.
I done seen y'all before.
Oh, have you?
Directed by Susan Felder, The Mountaintop is a reimagining of Dr. Martin Luther King's Last Night on Earth.
It's a fictitious telling of him in his hotel room, room 306 at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis. And he's visited that evening in this play by a hotel maid. And the two of them spend an evening talking and laughing and examining what it is to be human. You're going to see some really high caliber acting.
We're not just walking, we're marching.
This two-person play features Bradley seniors Aries Allen Robertson and Kiela Jackson.
I like your sense of humor, like mine, morbid.
To me, it's about getting down to the essence of who Dr. MLK was as a human. It's taking that icon factor that we all know about him, and it's showing the human elements of Dr. MLK.
And may you Really starting to make me blush.
Kame comes in and just really just gets him out of his rut, and we have a lot of fun. She's sassy. Oh, she's a firecracker. I don't. I like my men young and wild like me.
Like you.
Yes. But this play really, it just really talks a lot about race, a lot about things that were going on in that time, and it kind of shows us how far we've come, and how much we still have to do.
We should build our own counters, our own restaurants, our own neighborhoods, our own schools. The white man ain't got nothing I want.
People will see the show and be like, man, I need to get out there and say something.
It's inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Midstate Magazine, I'm Joel Strubar.
If you want to see the mountaintop, shows are taking place this Thursday through Saturday at 8 p.m. at the Hartman Center at Bradley University's campus, with an early showing on Sunday at 2:30 p.m.
They always put on really good shows, so
They
I
sure do.
definitely check it out.
This is a very important show. Everybody ought to see this one, of course.
Well, that's all for news for the week. I'm Katrina Baumgartner.
I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Bob Jacobs. Have a great night, and be sure to join us next week.
Thanks, news team. You know, speaking of the crime rates in Peoria that they were just talking about, I saw a recent study saying that out of top 10 schools in the United States, Bradley was listed as number 4 as the 4th most dangerous school in the U.S.
I actually saw the same study, and I think it is absolutely crazy that they would have Bradley's number 4 in the entire country. Are you serious?
I mean, I personally think that's a little bit over the top, because my friend goes to Northern Illinois University, NIU, and their school is not on the list, considering that a couple years ago they had a school shooting.
Yeah, and not too much happens here, but I saw the study. I forget who it was by exactly, but they were saying that they included violent and non-violent crimes. So maybe they're including some of those parking tickets in there. Who knows?
I know. To me, it didn't really make that much sense.
All right. All right. Now let's see where they took us on About Town this week.
With temperatures still dropping below freezing, you may be looking for the next indoor date night activity or simply want to try something new. Either way, Wheel Art Pottery Studio is the best place for you to express your creative side.
Starting in 2010, we opened up as a membership-based program in ceramics, kind of like a gym membership. And you basically pay a monthly fee for access to the facilities and then pay us the fire, and people usually buy clay from us too.
Although the studio began as a membership experience, it has since expanded and now includes great ways for students to get involved.
For Bradley students, the first Fridays, I would say, is definitely the best kind of introduction to our studio. We offer a 30-minute experience for $5, and it's really down and dirty. There's a little bit of instruction, but basically myself and another person are running between all 10 wheels and helping everybody make a pot. And so we also have music, we have food, we have drink. When it's warm outside, we get ice cream carts to come down, and we've gotten in touch with some hula hoop performers and some fire performers that hang out on the riverfront over the summer on Wednesday nights and do poi spinning of fire and other things, so we've gotten them to come down. But what other artistic students might like are open studio Saturdays, where they can come in for just pay for their time. It's like $10 per hour just to come and work in the studio and hang out in the studio. And then as far as paying for their clay, they only pay for what they actually keep. So if they come and try to throw pots for an hour and they don't make anything, then they only have to pay for their time rather than the clay too.
Jacob's passion for art drives him to create a memorable experience for his customers. As our interview concluded, he left us with these words of wisdom.
I'm not getting rich doing this, but I enjoy doing it. I can't see myself doing really anything else. And I really like the focus of what art is about when I work with people in the community. It's not about that finished product, it's about what it does for people's lives.
For Midstate Magazine, I'm Taylor Hurnett.
Thanks, Taylor. That's a great piece. So, I don't know about you, but I've never done a pottery before, but that seems like that'd be a lot of fun to go check that place out.
Yeah, most definitely. I myself have never personally been to pottery making, but I've been to a pottery painting studio in Peoria Heights called Fired Up.
Okay, tell me about that.
Well, you walk in and you basically pick a piece that's already been made, and then they have so many different types of painting techniques, like sponges and like little stencils that you can use.
Really?
And then just an array of so many different types of colors to choose from, and they give you so many ideas, and the staff is very interactive and really nice.
Okay. I feel like when you get older, it's really kind of easy to disconnect with art and not really express that side of you and let that come out. So something like that would probably be great to get into.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So now let's check in with Kyle on Get Real.
Good evening and welcome to Get Real. I'm Kyle Peck. There has never been a better way to celebrate post-Valentine's Day than with a controversially sensual film. This week we dive further into the erotically romantic drama film based on the same name of the best-selling novel, 50 Shades of Grey.
I would like to know more about you.
There's really not much to know about me.
The film stars Dakota Johnson as college graduate Anastasia Steele, who becomes lovesick with business magnate Christian Grey, played by Jamie Dornan. The two engage in a burning romance fueled by the billionaire's sadism and masochism. Director Sam Taylor Johnson makes good minimal use of the visual presentation.
From my perspective, what I really wanted from this film was to have this sense that there was this young girl who's seemingly falling prey and victim to power, success, and gifts, and all of those things, who ultimately flips everything around and becomes the powerful one in the relationship.
It's just beyond this door.
What is?
My playroom.
Like your Xbox and stuff?
Both lead actors commit to their roles, though the film carries Johnson with the most dynamic personality. Sadly, the film's focus on intrigue and melodrama lacks the energy and shock value it needs. Even the infamous sex scenes don't have enough sizzle. In addition, the film displays an underused supporting cast, a poorly structured story, and laughable dialogue. However, if you follow the 50 Shades novels or have an appeal for erotic and romantic themes, then 50 Shades of Grey is the film for you. That's it for Get Real. I'm Kyle Peck.
Thanks, Kyle. Last week we were talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
We were.
I actually saw it last weekend.
Really?
And, I have to agree with Kyle that the storyline was very drawn out, and it wasn't as exciting as the novels. So, I was disappointed.
Okay. Well, I'll still maybe have to check it out and see what the hype's all about. But it's time to check in with Emma on the street team.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. What is this, you ask? It's my goatee. There's a rumor going around that every time you ask someone what a goatee is, they'll touch their face. I want to see if this rumor's true. Just a second. Let me finish shaving. Let's try this out on this week's edition of The Street Team. I'm Mama Heth. Let's get started. Okay, what's your name?
Kyle.
And what's a goatee?
What's a goatee? It's like when you shave your beard like this.
What's your name?
Amy Saberry.
And do you know what a goatee is?
Yeah, it's like a beard thing.
What are your guys' names?
Rachel. I'm Alex.
And do you guys know what a goatee is?
Isn't it a beard? Yeah, it's a beard. Like on your face, like here.
And what is a goatee?
A goatee?
Yes.
A goatee, what I usually is like facial hair.
Or like a goatee, like a shirt, like. That's a day goatee.
Oh. And what's a goatee?
A goatee is a beard and a mustache connected.
What's your name?
Jasmine.
And what's a goatee?
I have no idea.
What's your name?
Nick.
And what's a goatee?
A goatee is a type of beard that goes just along the mouth right here.
Like that's a goatee, you know?
Uh-huh.
Goatee. What's a goatee?
I'm sorry?
What is a goatee?
I mean, I want to know how to explain it, but it's a specific style of facial hair. Is this a joke?
This has been Street Team. From Midstate Magazine, I'm Emma Heth. See you later, alligator.
Thanks, Emma. That was a hilarious segment. So apparently some people don't know what a goatee is.
No, I've always known what a goatee is. I mean, Do you do that
You
when
just
you talk
touched
about
yeah.
it? Like,
I don't know. I guess it's true. We found out that the rumor is real. And if you're talking about a goatee, then you gotta
touch your
make
face?
the motion. So I don't know.
Well, let's check in with Jalen and our special guest on State of the Arts.
Good evening and welcome to State of the Arts. I'm Jalen Cook. Tonight we would like to welcome one of Bradley's own, John McDermott. He is an interactive media major with a concentration in animation and visual effects. He also represented Bradley in the spring and summer of 2012 in a Disney College program. And he also happens to be the producer of this segment. Welcome to the show, John.
Oh, thank you, Jalen. It's good to be here, man.
Yeah, it's a little surreal, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, usually I'm behind the camera, and now this is probably the first time I'm actually in front of the camera, so it's pretty surreal. You're right. It is pretty surreal, man.
Yeah, you like resisting the urge to kind of like give like little tips and pointers like how to run everything, or just kind of like?
Oh no, they're still there, but you know they'll probably happen occasionally. Just ignore them, you know.
All right, no problem, man. So what are you going to share with us tonight?
Well, tonight this is pretty much accumulation of what I've learned throughout my years here at Bradley. I started here in fall 2010 as a wily-eyed new animation major, and now 5 years later I end up with stuff like this project right here. What this was originally was supposed to be an animation assignment for how to explain, you know, motion blur and timing, and for that you're supposed to present a lot of action. And so for that assignment I decided to do a golfer, because you know they you know, once you do the whole swing and whatnot, it looks pretty good, you know, in animation and motion. So, but the problem is how do you get that with drawings and whatnot? So basically what started out as, you know, one drawing, you know, something like this here. I mean, he's not doing anything really, so just, you know, standing there with a ball. He's not doing anything. So what we have to do is do multiple drawings of a single character. So when all that's finished, you kind of do, you know, kind of a flip through of that same action, in which you try to see the whole action through flipping the pages and whatnot, all the drawings together, flipping through to see if the action is working. And you know, if it's not working, that's when, you know, remove drawings, add drawings in, and thankfully this was all done relatively in about 4 hours or so.
Okay.
4 hours of drawing at a table, and my back was hurting that night, but it was done. All of this was done, and then after all of this is finished, that's when they get scanned into the computer, and then you bring them into an editing system. Like my preferred editing software for this is Adobe After Effects. Then you place them and add some sound effects music to it, and you get something like this video, the full animation, all of it in motion and in movement. So
how long did it say it took you to like finish that up?
Yeah, like I said, the drawings took about 4 hours. The editing itself maybe took about possibly another 4 hours or something like that. The thing is because it is so many drawings here, I also have to you know, set them up right, put them in the scene and whatnot. And it was just a few more hours of work here and there, but ultimately it did turn out all right. So I'm very proud of this, because this is actually the first time I actually applied hand-drawn animation to a project, and I'm just happy with the way it turned out. And the one thing I did learn from it all was that every great animator has to know how to draw. Yeah. Even the 3D animators, they all, even though they work in, you know, computers and whatnot, they still have to know how to draw, because of how to get the positioning, to get the flow of the animation itself. In fact, I am prepared to do a little demonstration today.
Okay.
And would you like to help me with this?
Of course. I mean, I haven't drawn in a long time, but you know, hopefully I'm not too rusty. This one right here.
manga, so like, you know. Oops. All right. Let's see. Yep. Here's a pencil for you. I have a eraser and for you, and pencil sharpener just in case. So what we're gonna do is show you how to. I'm going to show you how to draw Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Well, I spent a lot of time in the Disney College program, and there was an attraction there that showed how to draw all these characters, and I did go there a lot, and eventually I got to know how to draw Mickey Mouse from memory. It's just his head. So basically, what I'm going to show is how to draw Mickey Mouse, and you know, if everyone wants to follow along and have a drawing pad with them and a piece of paper, I'm going to show you how to draw Mickey. So first thing we're going to start is a circle. Simple circle. And, you know, try to get, you know, nice and loose. And
well, John, we're running out of time, so is there like a way we can kind of like do like an expedient version maybe?
Yeah, I can show.
So you heard Jalen at the end there. Sorry, John, we ran out of time. But thank you for that segment, Jalen. It's really good.
Yeah, you know, seeing something like that makes you think that animation takes such dedication in such amount of time.
Oh my God, yeah, and it's crazy to see how much or like how far it's come since the early 80s of where you had Mickey Mouse getting drawn for Disney, but now you've got like movies like Avatar where the entire thing is CG generated and it's just unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah, of course, and especially sometimes when you hear about like hand-drawn things that take people years to generate a movie that only turns out to be maybe like an hour and a half.
Absolutely, you gotta love it. And you know, video games too, like that's a huge industry and there's a lot of drawing that goes into that, and they do literally make that frame by frame, so it's pretty wild. But that is all for Midstate this week, everyone. I'm your host, Ricky Hendon. And I guess we're gonna keep going. So I guess we could just kind of wrap up the show or review what we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about destinations for spring break.
This is right.
You're going to PCB. I'm really jealous.
I'm really excited about that too. And then also we talked about Bradley being 4th in the country for the most violent place of all the universities. So,
I mean, interesting to me.
But I guess now we're actually wrapping. So that's all we have this week from Midstate. I'm your host, Ricky Hendon.
And I'm Melody Mercado. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.